The king who never slept. Have you ever imagined living without sleep, for a day, a week, even years? Imagine your eyes forced to stay open, nights never offering rest, and every ticking second stabbing you like a blade. That was the curse of a young king, whose story history tried to bury. His name was King Darvesh, the young ruler of Kalyura. From the outside he looked majestic, crowned in gold, his robe gleaming under torchlight. Yet behind the bloodshot eyes and the dark rings carved beneath his lids, he carried a secret that was slowly driving him insane. He had not been able to sleep since the night he ascended the throne. Every night he sat on his balcony, staring at the moon, waiting for drowsiness that never came. Servants tried herbal remedies, shamans burned incense, even physicians from distant lands cast spells to lull him to rest. Nothing worked. The young king remained awake, imprisoned in his own consciousness. At first, his ministers called it a blessing. "Your Majesty, you can work all day and night. No need for sleep in a leader," they said. But as time passed, his nature changed. He became short-tempered, quick to rage, his skin pale like a walking corpse. Worse, he began to see things others couldn't. Dark shadows whispering in the corners, faint voices at night, even the faces of the dead watching him through curtains. He couldn't tell whether it was mere hallucination, or the curse itself. King Darvesh withdrew into solitude. He ate little, spoke less, and filled leather-bound books with desperate scribbles. One entry read, "I want to sleep. I would trade my throne, my gold, even my life, for one night of peaceful rest." Endless nights consumed him slowly. Soldiers whispered, "Our king has gone mad." The people feared, "Our ruler is broken." Yet none dared oppose him, for even with a frail body, his gaze was sharp as a sword ready to strike. One night, a wanderer arrived at the palace. His clothes were ragged, his eyes piercing, his voice deep. He claimed to be a healer and keeper of ancient secrets. "Your Majesty," he said in the empty hall, "you cannot sleep not because of your body, but because of the sins bound to your bloodline." The words made Darvesh tremble. The wanderer continued, "Your ancestors forged a pact with the demon of the night. Your dynasty's throne was bought with stolen slumber. As long as your bloodline reigns, no heir will ever close their eyes." Darvesh refused to believe it. He shouted, calling the wanderer a liar. Yet that same night, for the first time, he heard a voice inside his head, low, raspy, and cold. "It is true. I am the keeper of night. You are mine, Darvesh. Your eyes will remain open until you surrender something more precious than sleep." The king collapsed, shivering, his heart racing, tears spilling uncontrollably. He realized he wasn't merely ill, he was bound by a curse. The following days dragged him into deeper despair. He tried to fight it, bathing in sacrificial blood, swallowing poisonous brews, even forcing his eyelids shut until they bled. Still, his eyes never closed. His body weakened, but his mind remained wide awake. The voice grew louder, demanding, "Give me your love. Surrender your heart, and I will grant you sleep." The dilemma cut him open. Was he willing to sacrifice the last piece of love he had, just to finally rest? That love was Orin, the village girl he had secretly adored since childhood. Darvesh refused to marry royal brides, for only Orin gave him peace. He often snuck out at night, watching her gentle face in the garden, longing to fall asleep in her lap. Now the demon demanded her as an offering. King Darvesh stood at the cruelest crossroads: keep the love that made him human, or surrender her and claim the sleep he had craved all his life. On the final night, Darvesh sat on his throne. Orin stood before him, tears shimmering in her eyes. "You've changed, Darvesh. I don't know you anymore." Her voice trembled. He clutched her hand tightly, his body shaking. He knew, if he gave Orin up, he might finally sleep. But that meant destroying the only reason he endured this cursed existence. If he refused, he would remain awake, tormented, slowly unraveling into madness. At dawn, Darvesh made a decision that shook everyone. He offered himself as the sacrifice. "Take me. Let Orin live," he declared. Black fire engulfed him, his body dragged into the abyss, the palace trembling with terror. People screamed, Orin fainted in sobs. Yet strangely, after that, the kingdom grew calm, the sun shone brighter. In his chamber, upon the golden bed, Darvesh's body lay still, his eyes finally closed. For the first time in his life, he was asleep. But it was no ordinary sleep, it was eternal. He chose death over losing love. History remembered him only as the king who never slept. But Orin knew the truth. Darvesh finally slept, in the embrace of death.